And I'm sure I would very likely, in my case, I wouldn't want to do it in Ghana.
Okay.
I would want to do it somewhere, preferably somewhere with like a research focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe the future is going to be for the research people. Currently, the people who are going to sit at the top of the food chain is going to be people who have their masters and PhDs. And this is what I mean.
Yes.
The reason is because if you are into research, AIs cannot research.
Mm-hmm.
People who are doing research ideally are coming up with new things.
Mm-hmm.
The AI we are using is because of the data scientists, PhDs, the software engineer PhDs who've come up with solutions for that.
Yeah.
And then it trickles down into the applied level.
Mm-hmm.
Those people cannot be easily replaced.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true.
With AI. Like, they sit at a level ahead of AI because they are the ones coming up with new things that the AI has to learn and then use it. So I think they are in a position to sit at the top of the food chain for a while until maybe AI can go to the farm and start digging and looking for new microbiomes or whatever. Like, it requires a level of, and then for me, that's how I see it. So if people have degrees today and they want to cement their way,
they should go into research.
They should go into master's PhD level.
Okay.
And if they get that level,
but you're talking about the real master's PhD, not the Ghana one that they just buy the degrees. You mean?
No, I mean like proper research.
So you're talking about research in the sciences, right? You're not talking about, because PhD.
No, it can be research in music, because what I mean by that is a person with PhD in music is going to still be useful than someone with a degree in music.
Okay, well,
because if you have a degree in music, what you can do is the same as what the AI is doing. But someone with a research approach to music is looking for new things in music to the point that they are, in a way, still relevant to society.
But what if you have a degree in music and then you use AI to synthesize the research that's going to be conducted? Because all I have to do is...
But whatever you are researching is going to be old things people have written. That's the point I mean.
The point is, when something is written, it's published.
Yes.
So why don't I sit back?
Which is not new knowledge.
As soon as you publish, my job is to synthesize it, not before AI takes it, but before anyone executes based on AI synthesis of it. So I am betting on the generalist in future. Because I'll give you an example, like even with what I do, right?
Okay.
Back in the day, it would be very hard to scale up our business because I get an assistant. I should be able to tell my assistant, draft a letter for me to write to this organization, do XYZ. Now with my education, my ability to write a letter is much higher than the assistant.
I would love this conversation also, you being on camera, so that people watching can see your interaction.
No, you are the expert. So usually, if I tell someone draft this for me, like when I had Doris or whoever, normally whatever comes back, I need to do a lot of editing.
Refining, yes.
So then it becomes, okay, let me just write it myself. Okay, but I'll do it later. But now when I have the thought, I send the prompt to my assistant, which is AI, say, draft a letter that says this and this and this. Make sure it's polite, because I'm kind of rude when I write very direct. Make sure it's polite, but make sure it covers this, this, and this, and this, this, and this. Yeah. Within seconds, I have my letter.
You get a response,
I send it.
It may not be perfect, but you can...
It is more perfect than
closer
what
to
my
your idea than...
would do. And in many cases, it's even better because I'm not a professional letter writer.
Yeah.
Right. And it conveys, the information in sometimes more nuanced form, because some of us, they say we're on the spectrum. We're very direct with our speech. Yeah. So we
actually are.
Yeah. So it allows me to reach more places immediately. Now, sometimes I have to, so I get a meeting with the client and I have to put together a presentation. Ideally, I should have an assistant that I say, put together these slides, which I then take and perfect. I don't have those.
But with what you are saying.
Yes. So
now let's say you want to hire someone to teach linguistics
Yes.
at your private school, let's say you have a school,
Yeah.
are you going to use an AI,
Yeah.
a degree holder, or a PhD holder in linguistics?
So here's my question.
Okay.
Why do we need linguistics? Right.
Well, that's beside the point. I'm just
No,
using an
the
example.
reason why, I know it's an example,
Okay.
but I'm saying, for instance, linguistics was useful to understand the relation between Latin and all these things. But now, very soon, I think it already exists. In real time, you can get translation from French to English.
Yeah, it exists. Yeah.
So, because I'm a business person, industrialist, whatever you want to call it, I'm always interested in the end result, not knowledge for knowledge's sake.
Okay.
So, yes, knowledge for knowledge's sake, there'll always be room for that. But if you want to be able to take action, so as a business person, I'm supposed to be a decision maker. Okay. The decisions are made based on information. Okay. Information that I usually have to rely on a human being to gather information, and the more accurate or precise information can be. And that's the thing about even this function approximation thing, that even if I understand that the AI can hallucinate, it's usually more accurate than my assistant who come back with something.
And since you are in charge, you can see where it's.
And then when I take the decision, if the feedback, because then now you make mistakes frequently, right? So that you can. Yeah. So now if I can get the feedback and act quickly, I'm able to move faster than some bigger organizations.
Yes, relatively.
Relatively. And so I am very comfortable in the generalist space.
Okay.
I agree with you that researchers are going to become
we will need new things.
Relevant. But where I think is going to be important is that since I can synthesize all this information here, in order to get competitive edge, I probably need to have a team of researchers myself who write things that don't get published.
And that is where you are going to need the apex.
So yes, if we're looking at employees, I will need
those at the top level, because in that case, you are looking for new things and be on the edge, and not simply use what is already available.
So do you think in the future with AI, do you think the future means that you have to keep information offline?
That's what is going to happen. That's going to happen in the sense that the most valuable information are not going to be online at a point in time. Simply because any information and there is very likely going to be a body of these top level new ideas, new research that is going to be gate kept in physical environments where I think libraries of some kind will come back again, in the sense that
offline. You have to go offline,
offline, in the sense that if you need new understanding in medicine research, you physically need to go to maybe a university where they have a library where the professors have come up with new ideas that you can read, because immediately it pops online.
It's free.
It's going to be synthesized, and then, but you would want to come up with new ideas and then that kind of thing. So in your case, what you're saying, you would want those people to your side, so that you want an edge rather than having to put it online. Everybody has access to it, and now it's public knowledge.